Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is our fourth lecture of Thermodynamics 1. Now, process. What is process? When the state of a substance is changed by means of an operation or operations having been carried out on a substance, its state have been changed. So as a result of that change of state, we can say that the substance have undergone through a process. The typical process are basically the expansion and the compression of a gas or the conversion of water into the steam. The process can be analyzed by an investigation into the changes which occur in the properties of the substances. These properties are like the temperature, volume, and pressure. When a substance changes from state 1 to state 2 during a process, so what are the changes in the temperature, pressure, and the volume that may occur? During these changes, the energy transfer can also take place. So we'll see that how these changes are possible. Now cycle. If the processes are carried out on a substance in such a way that at the end the substance is returned to its original state, then the substance is said to have been taken through a cycle. This is commonly required in many engines. In the engines, we have the cycles like Otto cycle, diesel cycle, Carnot cycle, and Rankine cycles. The sequence of the events take place which must be repeated and repeated. In this way, the engine continues to operate normally. Each repeated sequence of the event is known as cycle. So for the better understanding of the cycle, here I'll draw a PV diagram. Here this is pressure and this is volume. So I'll draw here an Otto cycle. This is basically a figure for the Otto cycle. This is process 1. This is process number 2, 3 and 4. So now from 1 to 2 basically there is a heat addition process at the constant volume. From 2 to 3 we can see here this is basically the expansion process. Here 3 to 4 this is basically the heat rejection process at the constant volume, and from 4 to 1 this is basically the compression process. It will complete an Otto cycle. So we started from point number 1 and from 2, 3, 4 to again we reached at point number 1. So in a cycle this is condition that the first and the last point meet. It will always rotate in this way. So when a gasoline engine or a petrol engine operates on a Otto cycle, it will repeat this cycle again and again and again. This is basically the understanding of the cycle. I will erase that from the slide. So in a cycle the processes are carried out on a substance in a repetitive manner such that it is returned to its original state. Now energy. What is energy? Energy is basically defined as the capacity of a body to do the work. That is basically the simplest definition of the energy that you have heard in your intermediate. So now we'll explain what is energy and how it is transformed. Energy is defined as the capacity of a body or a substance that possesses which can result in performance of the work. Due to the energy of the body, it can perform the work. Here the work is defined as in mechanics as a result of moving force through a distance. W is equals to F into D. When a force is moved through a distance, we can say that the work is being done. The presence of energy can only be observed by its effects, and these can appear in many different forms. An example where some of these forms in energy can appear is in a motor car. We can say that there is energy in the motor car due to which it can move on the road. The petrol put into the petrol tank must contain a potential chemical form of the energy, because by burning it inside the engine, the motor car through various mechanisms is propelled along the road. It moves along the road. Thus, work by the definition is being done, and because of that work, a force is being moved through the distance due to which the car has started moving. As a result of burning the fuel inside the engine, the general temperature of the working substances in the engine will be increased, and this increase in temperature must initially have been responsible for propelling the motor car. Due to the increase in the temperature of the working substances, since the motor car is moved and the work is done, the working substance at the increased temperature must have contained a form of energy resultant from which the increased temperature. So basically what have been described in this slide is basically when there is a fuel that is present inside the tank of the car is burned. Due to that fuel burning, the temperature inside the piston cylinder have been increased. This increased temperature basically shifted to the gas that have been present upon the head of the engine, and that gas basically pushes the crankshaft and the power comes upon the wheels. This energy content resultant from the consideration of the temperature of the substance is known as the internal energy. Some of this internal energy in the working substance of the engine will transfer to the cooling system of the engine because the cooling water becomes hot. A transfer of the energy in this way because of the temperature difference is called the heat transfer. From this discussion, it will be seen that energy can appear in many forms, and further it appears that the energy through the action of the various devices can be converted from one form of energy to another form. Like in the tank, the petrol has the potential chemical energy, then through the temperature it has been converted into the work done, and then it is converted into the kinetic energy that have been on the wheels of the car. Now, what is work? If a system exists in which a force at the boundary of the system is moved through a distance, then we can say that the work is done on the system or by the system. Note that as soon as the force ceases to move, the work is also ceases. If the value of D is 0 or the F is 0, the value of work done would be 0. Work is therefore a transient quantity, being descriptive of that process by which the force is moved through the distance. Work being a transient quantity is therefore not a property. The work is given by W, and here the W is equals to F into D, where F is the force and D is the distance through which the force is moved. This is a very important diagram, and this is a very important relation, which is basically the work and the pressure volume diagram. From pressure volume diagram we'll interpret the formula for the work in thermodynamics. Here you can see that upon y-axis we have pressure, upon x-axis we have volume. At the lower end, here we have basically a piston cylinder device. This is the piston and this one is the cylinder. So the piston is being pushed inside to compress the gas. It will reduce the volume of the gas from V2 to V1. This is the distance through which the force is applied and the piston have been moved. This is basically the area of the piston, and this is basically the pressure that have been generated inside that cylinder. Upon the PV diagram from V1 to V2, here this is basically the pressure is kept constant. So under the curve ABCD we have area under the curve, and this area under the curve is equals to the work done. How it is equals to the work done, we'll see. Now consider as shown in the diagram. In the lower half of the diagram, here is shown a cylinder in which the fluid is at the pressure P, is trapped by mean of a piston. Here the area of the piston is basically A. Now the force is applied upon the piston is equals to pressure into area. As we know that pressure equal to force per unit area, so the force is equals to pressure into area. Here the value of pressure is equals to P and area of the cylinder is A. Let this force PA be just sufficient to overcome some external load, so it will move. Now let the piston move back and the distance L along the diagram, while at the same time the pressure of the fluid remains constant. As the piston have been pushed from this distance L, the pressure have been kept constant. So the work done is basically equals to the force into the distance through which the force is moved. Here the value of force is P into A, and the distance through which the force is moved is equals to L. So we can say that here from this the equation of the work done would be equals to pressure into AL, where pressure is denoted by P, area is A, and L is basically the distance. AL is basically the volume swept by the piston from this point to this point. This is also known as basically the stroke of the piston. Here AL is equals to, basically we are moving it from V2 to V1, so you can say that AL, that is the volume swept, is equals to V2 minus V1. So we can interpret the relation of the work done is equals to P into AL. So we'll put here the value of AL. So the work done is equals to P into V2 minus V1. Above the diagram of the piston and the cylinder is shown a graph of the operation is plotted with the axis of pressure and the volume. Such a graph is called the pressure or the pressure volume graph or the PV diagram, and sometimes is used as PV plane. The graph appears as a horizontal straight line AB whose height is at the pressure P and whose length is from the original volume V1 to the final volume V2. Here that is important one thing to note, that you can also move the piston from this point 1 to this point 2, or you can move that from point 2 to point 1. In this example, author is basically trying to say that the piston is moving from point 1 to point 2. It is basically pushing the piston outward and covering the distance L. Now when it pushes the piston outwards, the final value of the volume is V2. Area would be like V2 minus V1, final volume minus initial volume. But if the piston compresses the gas through this, so the final volume would be V1. Then we'll write that V1 minus V2. So it depends. While solving the numerical, we'll see that either it's a compression process or it's an expansion process. So the work done is equals to P into change in the volume, V2 minus V1. So when you have to find out, if you are basically interested to find out the area, you can say that area is equals to pressure into V2 minus V1. Here are the units of the work done. These are basically Newton per mm square into meter cube. The final units are Newton into meter. Newton comes from the force and meters comes from the distance. So the work done during the elemental expression is equals to P into del V. What does it mean? Elemental expression means if this diagram have been divided into number of parts, like in integration, we will divide this diagram into different number of parts. So the work done is equals to P into del V, a small patch or the small change in the volume. So we can say that in thermodynamics and in PV diagram, the work done is equals to pressure into change in volume. Okay, so now I'll remove this. The total work done would be obtained by summing all the elemental strips of del V from volume 1 to volume 2. For example, this is a PV diagram and here the process of expansion have been shown. Here the gas has been expanded from point number 1 to point number 2, and here a small patch have been considered to calculate the value of the work done. Here for this patch the value of work done would be equals to this P and this basically small area del V. Now if you have to calculate the total work done during the process, that would be equal to summing all the integrals, summation where V changes from V1 to V2 P into del of V. Now if an infinite number of strips are taken, basically you are dividing into so small parts that the total number becomes the infinity. The relation for the work done then becomes work done is equals to integral V1 to V2 P into dV. Now the numerical problem. The statement of the problem is a fluid is in a cylinder having the value of pressure. Here the value of pressure P have been given, that is equal to 700 kilonewton per meter square, is expanded. Now the process is of expansion at a constant pressure from volume 0.28, that is basically the initial volume, to the final volume 1.68 meter cube. Determine the work done. Now the work done is equals to P into V2 minus V1. Here you will put the value of pressure, that is 700. Here is the value is in kilos, so we'll multiply it with 10 raised to power 3. Now V2 minus V1, final volume minus initial volume, 1.68 minus 0.2, and then the value of work done would be 0.98 megajoule or 980 kilojoule. That is how you will solve the numericals related with PV diagram of the work done. Now the polytropic process. A polytropic process is basically a very important process, and the expression for a polytropic process is equals to PVN is equals to C, where C is a constant. So we'll derive this expression. How this expression is derived, now you will see here. In this diagram 1.7, a PV graph have been shown, and this is a process of expansion from 1 to 2. Here the values for the pressure P1, P2, and the values for the volume V1 and V2. Change of a state of working substance in a thermodynamic system are often brought about by expansion or compression processes. Suppose that an experiment is conducted on a mass of a working substance such that an expansion process takes place from state number 1 to state number 2, changes the pressure from P1 to P2 and the volumes from V1 to V2. Assumes the arrangements are made to record the pressure and the volume as the experiment proceeds. If then from the results obtained the values of the pressure and the volume are plotted on PV graph, a smooth curve results are shown. This is basically the curve. Simply by inspecting the curve, it is not directly possible to tell whether it is connecting some law of pressure and volume for the expansion to carry it out. We are basically interested from this schematic diagram to relate this diagram with some kind of thermodynamic process to have a numerical relation. For that we need basically the logarithmic graph. Now we'll plot the graph between log of P with log of V. When these two graphs of pressure and volume are plotted, we are having basically a straight decreasing line. This is much better for the graphical representation. From this graph, we'll interpret the relation log of P, that is equals to minus N log of V plus log of C, where negative n is basically the slope of the line. As the slope is gradually decreasing, so it comes with a negative sign. Here the log of C is basically the intercept upon the vertical line or intercept along the log of P. So if we take this upon the left hand side, you can have log of P is equals to log of P plus N, log of V is equals to log of C, and when we take the anti-log upon both the sides, here we'll have PVN is equals to C. So that is how we derive basically a polytropic process expression, which is equals to PVN equals to C. Further, the experiments upon the different substances taking different quantities of substances, also including the case of compression as well as expansion, will yield the similar results. Equating equation number 2 may therefore be considered as the law of the general case of expansion or the compression of the substance. That is important. A polytropic process that is concerned in our lecture is basically the expansion process or the compression process. So the general formula for expansion and compression is PV raised to power n is equals to C. This general case of expansion and compression of the substance according to the law of PV and C is called the polytropic expansion or the polytropic compression, and combined we can say that these are basically the polytropes. It should be noted that the value of the constant C will change with each changing condition. So also will the value of n is known as the index in the expression or the compression of the polytropic exponent. Since all the conditions stated during the expression or the compression lie on the curve PV n is equals to C, then it follows P1 V1 n is equals to P2 V2 n equals to P3 V3 n or P4 V4 n. So what does it mean? Again we'll come back to this. All the points that have been taken on this line, like I'll show you. If we'll take here a point 3, here we take a point 4, here we take the point 5. For all these points, the relation will remain same. For point 1 we'll have P1 V1 n, for 2 we'll have P2 V2 n, for 3 P3 V3 n, and these are all equals to constant C. So we can say that these are all equals to each other, where point number 1, 2, 3 and 4 represent the different conditions or the states as I have shown you on the graph. I'll again choose the highlighter now. To give the idea of value of the exponent, that is important. Here the n is important. Through the different experiments, the range of the n have been given for the thermodynamic course, and here the range is from 1 to 1.7, and for some closed cases the value ranges from 1.2 to 1.5, but for the simplicity in our course we'll take the value of n in the range from 1 to 1.7. Now we'll see what are the effects of the value of this value of n upon a polytropic process. A polytropic expression PVN is equals to C. When the value of n is 0, we'll see what are its effects. P into V of 0 is equal to C. V of 0 is equals to 1, so P is equals to C. Here the pressure is constant, so it will indicate that it is basically a constant pressure process, that is known as isobaric process. When P is equals to C, we'll simply say that the process is isobaric. Now again we'll have the value. Here the equation is PVN is equals to C. So we'll assume what we are doing basically here. We are basically taking nth root upon both the sides. We are dividing both the sides by 1 over n. So P becomes P raised to power 1 over n. V n will be cancelled from 1 over n. V will be free from n, and C is 1 over n. Again C and C 1 over n both are basically the constant, so it will becomes C. This is obtained by taking nth root, as I have said you earlier. Now if n is equals to infinity, 1 over n, so it will becomes 1 over infinity is 0, so P of 0 is equals to 1. So the when value of pressure is 1, only the value of volume remains. So the V is equals to C. It will become the constant volume process or the isochoric process. So isobaric process, isochoric process, these two processes we have discussed in our lecture number 2. So according to polytropic process, how these processes are related with the equation PVN is equals to C, we have seen here, and how the values of pressure and the volume are constant in these cases we have seen here. So this was all from the lecture number 4. Thank you so much.